How you doing, everyone? It's Kevin. I'm back with another video. Today we're going to be working on the wheel kit for the chicken coop. We thought maybe having wheels on it would make it easier to get it moved around in the yard. If we decide we want to move it somewhere, we'll be able to put the wheels down and move it. So I'll show you what I'm doing first, and we'll go step by step through this whole project. Alright, as you can see, we got the whole chicken coop here, and what I wanted to do is find the balance point on the chicken coop so I know where to put my wheels, because you want to kind of even out the amount of pressure, down pressure and the back pressure. You don't want the wheels right in the middle, because if you do, the box is heavier, so back there it's going to hit the ground. So I just put a piece of pipe across there. You can see I got a piece of pipe across there, and that is about the balance point. That's really close to the balance point. If it goes one way, it'll drop the other way. If it drop this way, it'll do both ways. So let me show you here. I'll pick the chicken coop up with one finger. You can see I can move the whole chicken coop with one finger. It'll stay down there, but I can also bring it back down. I'm just pushing on the wire. So that is kind of my balance point. So that's where I want my wheels to actually be. But the brackets that I'm going to put on there are not going to be, the wheels are not going to, you'll have to follow along in the video and you'll see what I'm talking about. But anyhow, I'm going to take a permanent marker and I'm going to mark this right here where I want my wheel. And then I'll take a tape measure on the other side. I'll measure this one, then I'll take a tape measure the other side and mark it, just to make sure I got them both in the same place. Alright, this is the pipe we're going to start out with to build our wheel kits. Of course, you guys know I try to use old metal and stuff. I got this out of the barn. I was just laying up there. So we're going to start with this stuff here. And we're going to, this is a 1 inch inside and an 1.25 inches outside. So that's the size pipe. So it's inch inside pipe. It's inside diameter pipe. It's 1.25 inches outside. So we'll say just 1.25 inch pipe. And we're going to be cutting these in 30-inch pieces. We need 2 pieces 30 inches long. So we're going to go ahead and get these hacked off, and then we'll get some more metal. One thing I got to tell you guys, I don't have a blueprint for this. I've never built one of these before in my life. This is the first one for me, and hopefully it turns out pretty good. Normally everything I build turns out half decent, so. Alright, we got our 2 30-inch pieces of steel, 1.25 inch pipe. Now we're going to work on cutting some plates. We need at least 4 plates 2 inches wide out of this 1/4 inch steel. Alright, we have all 4 of our pieces cut now. These little pieces we cut. And now I'm going to cut a couple pieces from this. I need 2 pieces off of this. And they're about 1.5 inches wide. And we're going to cut them, let's see, 2 inches, about 2 inches long. So we're going to go ahead and get 2 of these marked out and get them cut. Alright, while those are cutting, I got one little one cut, we got another one cutting. We're going to go ahead and drill some holes in these 2 back brackets. These are the ones that are going to bolt to the coop itself. And they're just going to be a small bolt, like that. Let me tell you what it is. This is a 3/8 bolt. So it's a 3/8 bolt. And the length of it is about 2.5 inches. 3/8 by 2.5. So we're going to drill us a couple holes in these 2 plates. Alright, we got our 2 little pieces, and these are going to go on the ends of this. So we're going to leave them sit here. Now we have another piece of this same pipe we have here, the 1.25 inch pipe. We're going to cut 2 4 foot. We're going to cut 2 4-inch pieces off of this. So we're going to get these marked out. 2 4-inch pieces, and we're going to go over there and run them through that saw real quick. Okay, we got our 2 little pieces cut 4 inches long. Those are done. I haven't showed you guys the wheels. These are a no flat wheel. They won't go flat. There's no air in them. Pretty good little wheels. Let's see what they're pretty heavy. I mean, they can haul a pretty good weight. I think it was like 400 pounds each. And I know that chicken coop don't weigh no 800 pounds. So these are the wheels we're going to use. And these bolts are the bolts we're going to use for the axle. And they're, I'm going to say they're, I know these have 5/8 hole. I didn't have exactly the right bolt. This one's just a little bit smaller. So you might have to pick you up a couple nice bolts, you know. But I already drilled these holes for the wheels. So the way they'll go on is sort of like so. We'll put a nut in the front and the back so we can put those wheels in there. I think these bolts will be okay. Probably could have used a hardened bolt for this, but it's not like we're going to be moving it a lot. So the next step I got to do is I got to cut 2 more pieces of metal, and I think we're about done. This is some angle iron. This is about 1 inch and I'm going to say 1.25 inches by 2 inch. We're going to cut 2 pieces of this about 3 inches or 3.5 inches long, whatever a 2x4 is. So it'll be about 3.5 inches. Let me just make sure. Yeah, I'm going to say 3.5 inches. So we need 2 pieces of this angle, 3.5 inches long. Okay, I just took those 2 pieces of angle and drilled 2 holes, 1/4 inch holes, because we're going to be using lag bolts in these 1/4 inch holes to bolt that to the coop. These 2 plates here. So as of now, we have everything is cut, and I think, well, you just got a couple more holes to drill in these, and 2 more holes to drill in them, but I don't think I could drill them quite yet. So we're going to go ahead and start putting this together. Now, as I said before, no blueprint. We're just doing it. I think it'll work, and we're going to see if it will work. So we're going to go ahead and get to start welding this thing together. What I'm going to do now is I'm going to mount the bracket that's going to actually hold the wheel. It's pretty close back here to that bolt hole right there. I actually could have moved it back a little more, but I think it'll be fine right here. So we're going to weld that one on next. As you can see, I put a plate of steel under here just to kind of keep it straight, keep it kind of level. Okay, what I'm going to do now is them 2 little pieces that we had cut, we're going to weld them to the far side towards the front. We're going to weld them on there. Now you remember the 2 little 4-inch pieces that we cut. We're going to weld these out close to the very end. These are actually going to be handles. Either we could step on them to lift the coop up or push them down with our hands. being that I don't know exactly how much it's going to weigh, I don't know whether we'll be pushing it down with our hands or we'll be pushing it down with our foot. But that's what these two little handles are for. So I'm going to go ahead and get them welded on. And then we're pretty much done welding. All we got to do is get this guy put together. Alright, I had to go in and buy some new bolts. The bolts that I had, I didn't have nuts for them, so we went in and picked up some new ones here. And they're 5/8. We're going to go ahead and get these guys bolted together. I put a little bit of paint on these before I left, just to make them look half decent. We're going to go ahead and get both these set up and get them ready to put on the chicken coop. So now, we made the two marks on here where we want this axle to be, and we're going to line it up where we want the axle to be, and we're going to go ahead and drill a hole, and we're going to put just this bolt here in the back all the way through. So let's get us a drill bit. I'll get this marked where I want it, and we'll get them in there. So we know where it's going to go right there. Let's get her drilled out. Okay, these two little flat pieces of angle iron that we had cut, we're going to mount these right up here in the front where this goes here, right like so. So I got just some lag bolts. We're going to put some lags in these. Hopefully I can do this. Okay, now what we're going to do is we're going to drill a hole through here, through both of these, so we can put just a pin or an old bolt or something in there just to hold that wheel down. So we use this to push the wheel down. Then once we got it down into place, we'll put a pin in here. Now to lock our wheels into place. See, what I thought we could do is just take your hand or your foot, push down on this. But the hardest part is going to be lining that hole up so we can put a bolt in there and just screw a little nut on the back side. And that's only in there while you're moving it. So I think that's going to work. So we got one mounted on. We'll go over and get the other one mounted on and see if we can move this thing. Already got the other side on. I'm going to go ahead and put this side up. It's a bit heavy, but think it could be done. The only thing is, I noticed that is leaning in there, but we're on the wheels. I got something's up here. I'm not crazy about the way that wheel's leaning. Okay, I wanted to show you guys this. We got it on there, and you can see the wheel is clearly leaning out on the bottom. But that bolt right there we put in, actually the wood is so soft and the chicken coop is so heavy that it just bent inside the wood. And the other one did the exact same thing. See how it's leaning? So the only way we can cure that is to put a plate of steel on the inside of that board and on the outside of that board right here. If we put a plate on the inside and a plate on the outside and clamp it together, we would probably be okay. So that means we got to cut 4 plates, drill 8 holes, and put them in there. Now what I did for this one is I just got a couple of these and put on the front of it, and so we could actually lift it and move it around. It actually moves pretty easy even with the wheels bent like that, but I'll put another one on there. So I got one. Julie get one side, I go the other side, and we can go for it. Alright, we got us some 1/8 inch steel here. We're going to cut 4 plates out for that, for on both sides of that wood. And we'll drill the hole for the axle through the center, and then we'll drill 4 holes around the corners to put screws in there. And hopefully that'll keep them axles from twisting. So what we're going to do now is get cutting. That's what we got to do. We got to get it cut. Okay, here's our little plates we're going to put in there, and we'll put one on each side of the 2x4, and these are the same size as a 2x4, and run our axle through there, and hopefully it won't bend like it did. Alright, you can see where we're putting those plates on both sides of here. Now that one over there is drilled a little bit further down. I hope I can get my screws in it. Hopefully this is going to keep that from moving. Yeah, hopefully. Okay, I think that done the trick. I really do. I think it's going to be fine. It's resting on the wheels. They're nice and straight now. The only thing I'm going to change, and I'm not going to probably get it on video, is this bolt here. I need a little bit longer axle for this bolt here, and I want to change that to a case hardened bolt. I want a hard bolt because I noticed the one on the other side was actually bent. So I'm going to change them bolts out, and that'll be the only thing. And like I said, as you can see now, they're not leaning to the outside like they were. They actually look pretty good on there. So pretty cool. I think it's going to work. We can grab it by the handle, pick it up, and then push. Like I said, it might take 2 of us. But I'm doing that with one hand and the camera in my other hand. So I think if me and Julie got on there and was pulling on that thing, like I said, I put a handle there and a handle here, I don't think we would have any trouble moving this thing around. I think it'll work out pretty good. Try to get a shot of the whole coop. It's kind of hard. But like I said, the only thing I'm going to do is change out the 2 bolts right there in the back. I'll put case hardened bolts in there. Well, I hope you guys enjoyed the chicken coop build. This is a little chicken coop that if I was decide to move or something, I could take this chicken coop with me, which that's what I want, something I can move around and do whatever I want with it. So don't forget those 2 bolts on the bottom that go through that back pin there. Definitely need case hardened bolts. These ones actually bent. I was moving around in the garage here to get a better shot camera view of the chicken coop, and it actually bent them. So there's a good bit of pressure on those 2 bolts, so we want to make sure we get a good hardened bolt in there. So I would like to tell everybody thanks for watching the video. Don't forget to subscribe. Leave me thumbs up, thumbs down, or a comment if you'd like. Till next time.